Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. We are so excited to have Juka from Juka's Organics, which is the leading health brand from South Africa, bringing health and wellness, supporting women farmers in West Africa. You go, girl. Honestly, seriously.
Blushing, thank you, thank you.
You look gorgeous.
I got the memo that you guys were all beautiful, so I had to like doll up a bit.
No, we got the memo that you were coming, and we were like, okay, we need to up our goddess level immediately. What's incredible about what you're doing is, you know, from your background, you really discovered after running these markets, right, that there was a need and a niche for what you've created. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I used to live in New York and moved to LA. When I came, I didn't see that many African stores here. So then I opened the African market in Inglewood, and I ran it for several years and then shortly closed it, but realized that our red palm oil was really doing well, and Dr. Oz talked about red palm oil at the time. So of course, I had the dream to basically bring Africa to mainstream in America. And so I said, what is the best way not to take the opportunity to actually evolve the red palm oil into all these other amazing products?
What is red palm oil?
Red palm oil, of course, is red, right? So that's one of the things that you have to look for when you get in red palm oil. You have to make sure it's red. And it has a lot of antioxidant, vitamin E, carotenoids. That's why it's so red. So it's great for your skin. It's good for also cholesterol levels. A lot of people that actually take this.
I've never heard of it.
Yes. So because it's like the #1 cooking oil around the world, except in the West. But now it's being introduced to the West. Most people know coconut oil, but I think now red palm oil is coming into mainstream, which is amazing.
And I think that there's a difference, right? Just to educate, and I'm asking you to educate me because I don't know. But hydrogenated palm oil is bad for you, but this is healthy
different.
and it's very different, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For many reasons, and I'm glad you brought that sustainability issue. Many palm oils that come from other parts of the world, such as Asia and stuff, have contributed to deforestation and basically harming wildlife. And if it comes from Africa, we are talking about the red palm fruit, which is different from the palm oil. So red palm oil gets a bad rep because of palm oil, but red palm oil is different from palm oil because the red palm comes from the fruit, while the palm oil comes from the kernel. And then the red palm oil that comes from Africa is indigenous to Africa.
Wow.
So hence,
don't you think that's fascinating? Because just like we were talking about, whatever you give out comes back, right?
Right.
So if you tear down the trees and deforest, Africa and harm that area, then it's going to harm you because it's bad for you. Isn't that fascinating, right?
Yeah. And for us, that's so important to us, and that's why I'm glad you asked, because we want people to know that if they do get their red palm from Africa, where it comes from, Mother Nature gave it birth to Africa. So it's important for people to consume red palm that comes from Africa because, first of all, it's the purest one, it's the most authentic, and also it's sustainable.
How am I going to consume this red palm oil, though? I mean, it looks beautiful. I would have no idea what to do with this.
Are you good in the kitchen? No.
I'll try in the kitchen. I won't claim to be good, but I will try.
So if you're not so good in the kitchen, maybe this is a good start, which is the red palm sauce.
Yes, thank you.
And so that's a good way to start. And this is so delicious. I mean, and it's so easy to use. You just whip it in like 5 minutes, and you could put it over sauteed fish. I mean, you could go to Rouse.
Oh,
and
yes.
Make the pasta gold with the gold flakes over the pasta with the extra spicy.
Yes.
Right, and you could do the mild too.
Or the mild. Oh, that's fantastic.
But you could add it in quinoa, fish, veggies. It's super healthy. I mean, it gives you amazing skin, the carotenoids. Even here, like you could do an oil treatment with it.
So, Juka, what is it that really had you, what's your mission with this? Do you have I'm assuming you seem like a very passionate woman. I'm sure there's like a higher purpose in what you truly desire. What is that mission?
Initially, and I was talking about this yesterday to a journalist, initially it was the women, to help the women in Africa, especially in the villages, because Africa has so much to offer, but the world, there's no bridge between. So Juka's Organic, we want to be the bridge that brings Africa to mainstream, and also to help the American consumers to be more health conscious and to be more healthy. But now, I just came back from Africa last week, and I feel like it's actually bigger than just the women. I saw the kids, I saw the youths, and I feel like they need partnerships to elevate them, not handouts.
very true.
So for me, the whole thing now is bigger than Juka. It's bigger than Juka's Organic. It's bigger than the women. It's about the continent, which is huge. So I'm glad you guys have us to help us to continue to elevate that mission.
Sure. We used to do a partnership with a nonprofit I was involved in, and we went down to Africa and chat, and it was just such an incredible experience. And they would partner with one African farmer, and then a third would go to the farmer, a third would go back to the investors, and a third would go to the village. And it was so amazing to witness just how the smallest little thing, one thing, just would shift an entire little economy down there.
Oh my God, yeah, and it helps them so much. Like the newest partners we had, because we growing every year with different new vendors, new farmers. And the last ones, I remember, gave them the money to pay them, and it literally, like, the whole village came for us to count the money. I was like, okay, guys,
wow.
I know it's not that big of a deal.
So cool.
But, you know, one of them said, you have to realize this is their first time dealing with this amount of money, and they don't deal with checks or credit cards, it's cash. So it was fascinating to see these women and to be able to help them, and it's just rewarding. So I think you guys and the customers and everybody that contributes to Juka's Organic, we are literally changing the way that Africa is going.
That's a major responsibility.
So where do we find it? How do we buy it?
So you guys can get it from Walmart.com.
Wow,
and there are
that's
certain
great.
stores at Walmart that
Congratulations.
has
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
It's no small feat.
Yeah.
You can get it also at Juka's Organic, Amazon, and also Rainbow Acres. And there are a lot of different local stores in Los Angeles. And if you're in New York, if you go to the website, you'll see locations that carry the red palm and other products.
I'm an extra spicy kind of a girl. So good. No, so beautiful.
I'm super lazy, so I can put this on everything, right?
Yeah.
Like substitute for hot sauce.
Lazy, the capsule, and you look like you work out.
Yeah,
Right?
You gotta,
It's
I gotta
fit.
work out.
Yeah.
I gotta work out, but I love spicy food because it also helps to, keep your appetite in check.
Right, and also it's good for your metabolism. So, and the red palm is like the base oil, so it's really, really good. And the coconut oil, you guys haven't said anything about the coconut oil.
Yeah, the coconut oil, right?
And the coconut oil.
Yeah, I guess because you guys know coconut oil. So.
Well, though, there's so many things that I read about coconut oil and refined versus unrefined, cold pressed, whatever. This is very unique because it's unprocessed, unrefined, and cold pressed.
Right. For me, I always say, try to use whatever you have to use the way that Mother Nature gave it to you.
That's what I love about these products so much is that I can read every single ingredient on the
Good.
label, right?
Yeah.
It's not something that's so complicated, so it's just very simple, very pure.
Very basic
Yeah.
ingredients in the sauce. So
And what are
it's-
the two other products?
so shea butter.
Uh-huh.
You guys know
Shea
shea butter, right? Under eye. I'm not
Really?
gonna say my age.
Really? We're obsessed with eye products, so,
So
if you've got,
you use this as an under eye treatment?
Yeah, I don't use any other products besides shea butter
boy.
under my eyes, and
We're all gonna have to divvy it out.
I know.
you guys can Google my age. I'm kidding.
It says right here you can use it as shaving cream,
Shaving
stretch
cream.
marks, dry skin, skin rash, natural dry hair.
Sunburn.
Sunburn.
If you have sunburn, 24 hours, shea butter will reverse it. And people spend so much money.
We only do fake towns around here.
They're organic and non-toxic though.
So yeah, the shea butter is good, and then the baobab powder is also good. You put it in smoothie.
What is baobab? I've been hearing this buzzword
I
all
know.
over town. What is baobab?
So it has a lot of antioxidant. It comes from a fruit, and it's dried naturally, and then they take the powder out of the fruit, and that's how it comes. It's like an ivory color. It's tangy. It has a lot of antioxidant. Fiber. It's great for cleansing. Like if you wanted to do a
Detox?
cleanse, yeah, you take too much of this. Be careful.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's amazing. And also high blood pressure. It's used a lot in Africa for high blood pressure. So we tell people to.
You
use
are a
it for-
wealth of knowledge. Where did you learn all of this? Was there a woman or a person in your life who really imparted all this knowledge and wisdom to you?
I think my mom, but I'm from Africa, so these products are just like you would walk into a store and buy cookies. I mean, so it's the same thing for us. So I'm African, I grew up there, so that's how I know about all these products. But the extra knowledge that I have, I guess, comes from my mom. she's an incredible woman
Hi,
and she's always
Mom.
helpful.
Big shout out.
She's in Africa right now and she called me last night at 3. I'm like, Mom, I don't understand what you're saying. Wait until wait a little bit and then I can answer that. But she's there right now and she's continuing to work with the women so that we can bring more products in here.
Well done.
So it's
We,
great.
focus a lot on empowering women, such a big movement right now in history, and just so great to witness you and everything you're doing, and it's the butterfly effect of all of us. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm humble.
We really appreciate you being
Thank
here and
you.
being a
Thank
part
you.
of this community, sharing Juka's Organic with us. Be sure to find it on walmart.com or jukasorganic.com. And we'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.